Hello everyone. Welcome to Daily English Practice. English short story. In the peaceful English countryside, a man named Mr. Frampton Nuttall arrived at a quiet house. He had come to the village for rest and relaxation because he was feeling nervous and tired. His doctor had advised him to stay away from busy cities and meet calm people in the countryside. Frampton didn't know many people there. So, his sister gave him a few letters to introduce him to families in the village. One of those letters was for a woman named Mrs. Sappleton. On this particular afternoon, Frampton went to visit her. A young girl of about 15 years old received him in the sitting room. "My aunt will be down soon," said the girl politely. "She is getting ready. Until then, we can talk." Frampton smiled politely. He found the girl clever and confident. Her name was Vera. "Do you know many people around here?" she asked. "No," Frampton replied. "I've been very alone. My sister stayed here 4 years ago, but I don't know anyone personally. That's why she gave me letters like the one to your aunt." "Then you don't know anything about my aunt's tragedy?" Vera asked with a serious face. "Tragedy?" Frampton asked, surprised. He leaned forward with curiosity. "Yes. It happened 3 years ago," she said, lowering her voice. "That's why we always keep the window open in this room, even now." Frampton looked at the large French window that opened onto the garden. It seemed unusual to keep such a window wide open on a cool October afternoon. He listened closely. Vera continued, "3 years ago, my aunt's husband and her 2 brothers went out through that window to go shooting in the fields. They never came back." Frampton looked shocked. "They were caught in the marsh," Vera whispered. "Their bodies were never found. But my aunt always believes they will return. She waits every evening, thinking they will walk in through that same window, just like they did that day." Frampton looked at the window again. A breeze blew the curtain slightly, and he felt cold. "She even keeps tea ready for them," Vera said. "She talks about them as if they're still alive. It's very sad." Just then, the door opened, and Mrs. Sappleton entered. She was a cheerful woman, around 40, with bright eyes. "I hope Vera has been keeping you company," she said. "She has," said Frampton nervously. Mrs. Sappleton looked toward the open window and smiled. "I hope you don't mind the window being open. My husband and brothers went out shooting this morning. They always come back through that way. It's such a nice evening for a walk." Frampton gave a weak smile. He was beginning to feel uneasy. The young girl had told him they were dead, but the woman spoke as if they were alive. Was she mad? Mrs. Sappleton kept talking about her husband's hunting habits, the muddy roads, and the ducks in the lake. Frampton tried to listen, but his eyes kept going to the open window. He thought, "Is this woman pretending? Or is she truly waiting for ghosts?" "I came here for rest," Frampton finally said. "My nerves have been weak. The doctor told me to avoid excitement." Just as he said this, Mrs. Sappleton suddenly looked happy. "Ah, here they are at last," she said, standing up. Frampton turned his head slowly toward the window. And then he saw them. 3 figures were walking across the lawn toward the house. They were carrying guns. One of them had a white coat over his shoulder. The other 2 were laughing. A brown spaniel dog ran around them, barking joyfully. Frampton's heart started pounding. He stared at the scene, frozen with fear. His skin turned pale. Was he seeing ghosts? Were these the men who had died 3 years ago? Then Vera whispered, in a scared voice, "Here they come, just like they did on the day they died." That was enough for Frampton. He jumped up, grabbed his hat and walking stick, and ran out the door without saying goodbye. Outside, he ran down the path, out of the gate, and far away from the house. He didn't stop to look back. Inside, Mrs. Sappleton stared in confusion. "What's the matter with him?" she asked. He ran out like he saw a ghost. One of the men who had just entered, tall, with a white coat, said, "Who was that man?" "He ran away as if we were monsters." Then Vera calmly said, "Oh, I think it was the dog. He told me earlier that he had a terrible experience once. A pack of wild dogs chased him into a river. Since then, he can't stand the sight of a dog. Poor man." Everyone nodded, accepting her explanation. The real twist. What they didn't know was that Vera had made up everything. There was no tragedy. Her aunt's husband and brothers were very much alive. They had simply gone out hunting that morning, like always. And Vera had invented the entire ghost story on the spot for fun. Frampton, already nervous and sensitive, had believed every word. He thought he had seen ghosts and fled in terror. And Vera? She sat calmly, sipping her tea, her face innocent. She was a master storyteller, and she liked to invent interesting tales to entertain herself. Subscribe to the channel for more stories.